Hello and welcome to Sam's on Wrestling, a little special episode for us. Very rarely do we do these kind of review for live type wrestling, but we're doing it today. We are looking at the first ever episode of Raw on Netflix in our round table special. It is also our 100th subscriber special.
Happy birthday, Sam.
Happy birthday. It's not happy birthday.
Well, it feels like that,
it's
doesn't
happy
it?
reward.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 3 months. The fact that we've got 100 subscribers already blows our mind.
Yes.
So thank you for everyone who's come and watch us. There's a few people who've also helped us out. Joshy Wrestling, we really thank you. Ringside Renaissance as well. They are fantastic lads. Thank you for everything that you've done. Really, really supportive. YouTube channels. Go and watch both of their YouTube channels. They are both fantastic, really entertaining. In fact, both have talked about Raw on Netflix as well themselves. So go check out their video. But yes, this is a round table episode. I am Sam. I am joined by Baby Sam.
Hello, everyone.
And we thought we would just have a quick chat. We were filming anyway today.
We literally would have talked about it
And
anyway
we were there
today,
going, do you know what? Let's actually talk about the Raw on Netflix. So let's talk about the build-up to it. I mean, wow. $5 billion that could raise if they renew it after 5 years. Wow. It feels like a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
For WWE. And the fact that we've got to something different. It's finger on the pulse a little bit. Like, I know streaming's been going on, but no streaming has really pushed the sports narrative. Amazon Prime have a little bit and stuff like that, but really, really go for it. It looks like Netflix are trying to get on top of things. And WWE is an excellent thing to do.
Absolutely. It's the most accessible it's ever been. You know what? I realised, because me and another friend of mine are both wrestling fans, and we were talking about it in our group chat, and this third person in our group chat was kind of asking about it. And I was able to say the sentence to him, oh, you should actually just go and watch it. It's on Netflix. You can just go and watch it. It's never been so accessible to new people.
And that's the difference between that and the network. There's more on the network, or was on the network, and that is a sad thing that we've lost so much stuff. But at the same time, you had to be a fan to go to the network.
You had to make a commitment.
Now, and people have said, not everyone has Netflix. More people have that than they did the network, which is where the pay-per-views were. So guys, you can't critique it. And in comparison to like AEW on Max just aren't promoting AEW at all. Like, they don't know it's there. Whereas Netflix, in some countries already, WWE was their number one
I've seen billboards for everywhere.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And the advertising, that's the difference between WWE and AEW, I think, in the grand scheme of things. If AEW advertised more and they did better promotion, they probably could get more viewers in. So let's actually talk about it in general. It came out. Stands are already having a go at it, going, look, not many people watched it, because there's a number going around that was like 644,000 households watched it. And I was like, no, that was on this one place. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's a thing in America where you can get Netflix via this app. So that's how many people watched it on this app.
Also, why
Netflix?
Why go and look at the TV ratings of a TV show?
Well, they were saying, look, it was less than what it was at the first Raw in 2024. And you're like, but it isn't. It hasn't been. That was just via that app. So the fact that 644,000 households have watched it on Netflix via this place shows that it actually has been watched by more people.
No doubt.
Don't be stupid. Don't go and follow what the value, what the number means.
If it means that much to you.
But let's have a talk about the actual show. We'll try and run it down in order, shall we? Let's get as much order as we can. So, first of all, it opens up with the screens around the ring.
I love this opening.
And, oh my God, as an opening, that's when it went, this feels like a big deal.
Yeah, that was honestly, we'll get into it, my favourite part of the show.
It was my favourite part of the show.
I loved it. I felt quite proud to be a fan. Because
I did.
I think as fans, we're all aware at this point that it's like, when you introduce a friend to like your other group of mates, it's like the world is going to watch what we like now. We really want it to do well and be like, not make us look like idiots.
So be good mates.
Yeah.
Don't
just
be
sad. Don't say silly jokes, And this opening, I was really proud. I was like, wow, this actually really...
Did you predict that Triple H was behind the curtains?
No, I didn't.
I did. I really wish I was doing a live stream, because I was sat there going, I bet you Triple H is behind the curtains. And then it drops to Triple H.
I was surprised when he blew up. That was what surprised me. It's like Jeff Hardy.
How many? He was so close.
He was. Fair dues.
It's like that pacemaker's going. I thought that was special, and it made it big. And then they showed the arena doing the 360.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
The drone shots.
The drone. What a great idea. How simple. Because you don't think drone for an inside arena. You think it for like big football stadiums and stuff like that. The 360, incredible. Looks amazing. And what a start. And then The Rock comes out.
And ruins everything. I'm not being funny, he ruined the last year's entire story. Like,
he's already come out on NXT the day after and went, see what we're cooking. Now, let me get this clear. I actually had no problem with Rock coming out as babyface Rock. Okay? I had no problem with him coming out as corporate Rock. Because that's what he was. He was board of directors Rock. We agree that's what he was. Yeah. And you can come out, because people weren't going to boo. People were going to be brand new fans watching it for the first time. We're going to be, why are we booing this horrible man? Isn't he the guys in Moana? You know. So I absolutely understand why The Rock was this character. Why was he so praising of Cody Rhodes?
Why? I'm sorry, right, okay. Cody Rhodes is like your modern day Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, he's the main guy. I know he's not going to be on Raw, but frankly, obviously, you're going to have him on the episode.
He might be.
Well, maybe.
They're still doing the brand switches.
Way, why do you have him look like such a little weird? Why has he got a front row ticket? Like, why is he doing the thing WWE games?
Which means he must be. He knew that The Rock was going to say something for him to be there.
Why is he just standing there awkwardly?
Like, even if you're going to do this stupid praising Rock, Cody Rhodes, couldn't he just say, can I also bring out Cody Rhodes? And Cody Rhodes come to the edge of the stage and then get praised. If you're going to do the praise thing, but the praise thing makes no sense. I don't mind him being corporate Rock. Ignore Cody and ignore Roman. Yeah. Don't talk about either of them. Yeah. Talk about Raw on Netflix. Say thank you, which Triple H could have done. Yeah. I don't know why. Why? Could you imagine if Rock had only come out at the end of Tribal Combat and handed the necklace over, and that's all that The Rock did?
No, that was it. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, which will.
What he should have done.
But imagine that was all it was. No heel turn. No, doesn't show his heel. Doesn't show his back place. Doesn't do the promo. Doesn't need to do a promo because Triple H is in there. But imagine at the end of Tribal Combat when Paul Heyman's about to put it, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, he comes out and goes, "Oh my God, it's Rock. What's he going to do?" And then he puts it on, and already you've sown the seed. Even if Rock's not at Mania, you've sown that seed. But the Cody Rhodes thing, they're going. So he's either going to cross Cody Rhodes again. Is he tricking Cody Rhodes?
No, because you're thinking about him much deeper than they're thinking about it. I know. Is the problem. So don't even go down that route. It just massively trivialised and disrespected the amazing storyline they did last year.
A whole year
We're just laughing, Mama Rose. It's like, yeah, I whipped you with a belt and bloodied you. And talked about your mother in front of the TV and tried to destroy your whole career. Oh, I remember that. And Cody's like, oh yeah, I remember that.
And then why? And then showing tequila backstage later on Instagram.
Yeah, so why? Like, why do you... That, even to the new viewers, that doesn't help them, really, because they're supposed to be told, oh, this is story, so this is what happened last year, The Rock and Cody. So even they're kind of like, are they friends confused. Or not? Yeah. As are we. It makes no sense, and it's just, Rock just wants to kind of break kayfabe and go, oh, yeah, that was funny. It's like, why can't we commit to a story? It doesn't mean they have to be feuding still. You do what you want. Why did you have to do that? There's no reason to do that. And I remember watching it and thinking this is, again, like the Raw After Mania segment of last year.
Oh, it's really bad.
Really awkward. Because Cody's just got a really weird, awkward smile. Like, Cody doesn't do that kind of thing well.
And the fact that Cody then turns up 20 minutes later in the middle of the next match. For me, I thought The Rock's promo was one of the stupidest things. And this is when I sat down and went, this is going to be a giant advert, isn't it? And sadly, I know I'm putting an overall before we even talk about the rest of it. This first episode of Raw on Netflix was a giant advert for people who had never seen it before. It was not for any old fan, current fan. It was, we're on Netflix now. This is what Netflix is. Come and watch us. Next week might be the first actual episode of Raw.
So this is the thing, Sam. You can say it's an advert, but it's still a bad advert because...
it's a bad advert.
No, because my main problem is, and again, we'll get to the nooks and crannies and stuff. This is supposed to be... we will get to the nooks and crannies, Sam. I don't know why that phrase amuses you so much.
It sounded too much like grannies. Grannies. Mama Rose.
Mama Rose, there we go.
She's a granny now. So.
Well, congratulations to her, but let's get on track. I was about to make a really serious point, and then you just, for some reason, nooks and crannies just really knocked them out for some reason. So, my problem with this is, you're introducing this to a massive audience, and we understand that. We understand that it's not going to be necessarily catering to us. We understand that you need to get more audience members in. If I'm watching a new show on Netflix, trying out a new series that I might end up watching, an opening episode of a series, which is what this essentially is, needs to have a hook. It needs to have...
Why did it start with a match?
Well, even that, but I'm talking about the entire show. Nothing happened in the entire show that made you want to watch the next one.
No turns.
All of it concluded storylines. Yeah. So you're starting off the first episode where you're... Yeah, exactly. At the end of the stories, instead of introducing new fans to new stories. Nothing, and I mean not one thing on this show happened that created intrigue for a future show, which is what is the entire point of what this episode should have been.
Yeah, that is the biggest issue. That was when I said it was a bad advert. It was an advert, but it was an advert for WWE, not for Raw, and not for the storylines. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which then led us to Tribal Combat.
Oh.
And now,
I enjoyed the match, not the end.
I actually agree and disagree with enjoying the match. I hated the first 15 minutes of this.
Oh, I didn't watch the first 15.
It was so... This is why I got really struggled at this. I went, oh my God, this is... The whole night felt really slow. Felt really, really, really slow. And I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was the pay-per-view feel. But it came across very, very slow the whole night. And that first match of Roman and Solo was move, pause. Move, pause. Thank God the bloodline then got involved because the match really picked up, got exciting. I was not ready for a Kevin Owens.
I love that.
That's the best thing of the whole night.
Same, yeah, no,
I was not ready for that at all because he didn't say he was going to attack Roman or anything like that.
I love it.
That was great. It was able to bring Cody out, which is how Cody should have been introduced to the night. And you've introduced Cody and Kevin's feuds to the new fans.
I like that. That was the good thing because you said, okay, you've got the story. Here's loads of other characters that also intertwine with the story. That was the bit I liked. I thought, yes, introduce all these different stories that are going on.
But they then kicked out of 107 finishers each. Stop kicking out of finishers. It might be a thing I might mention in a future video.
Yeah.
But oh my God. But the match after that first very, very, very slow 50 minutes, this is why WCW, when they were hot, were opening with cruiserweights and starting off with this really hot, exciting... I generally didn't like this match. Generally, it's a very solid middle match. It got really exciting at the end when everyone got involved. It became a big brawl. Maybe that's what the match should have been. Almost a giant brawl with many people. I'm not sure. The match was fine. All the matches were fine in general. I enjoyed it from when the Bloodline got involved. I hated the fact that they kicked out of a million finishers. Yes. I like that The Rock came out at the end to put the necklace on. That's what the Ulafala thing should have been.
Yeah, well, here's my problem. The match ended and concluded in the least intriguing way it possibly could have done going forward. Yeah. I'm not saying you want to continue the Solo feud.
I think it ended it.
No, but I think you can end the Solo thing and start something new.
Yeah.
I was so excited when The Rock came down because in my mind I'm going, he's kind of acted like he was supporting Roman. He's coming out. I'm literally waiting for him to put the Ulafala and give him a rock bottom.
The question is though, did that make you consider if The Rock was going to be at Mania or not? Because
I don't think he's going to be.
That made me doubt it more because I know the Moana reshoots are in this sort of ballpark. That generally made me go,
he's
The
not
Rock
going to be there.
might not be there. And if this is true, our WrestleMania 41 predictions are in the bin. They're already pretty much in the bin as it is. Yeah. We'll go back and watch our WrestleMania 41 prediction. You probably sit there and going, well, that's out of date already. And yes, it is. Admittedly, that we are predicting it 4 or 5 months in advance. Yeah. But, I was disappointed that The Rock didn't do it. I was okay with them putting the necklace on because I thought, that could be a future thing. It made me think Drew hugged Cody on SmackDown. The Rock hugged Cody when he took the title. Maybe there's a thing going on there.
Oh, the gymnastics.
Well, I do believe that when Drew said there's only one person who came and spoke to me when I was away, that's one of 2 people. It's either Kevin Owens or it's The Rock.
I would love, Sam, I would love nothing more than for you to be somehow correct and The Rock to have a big faction with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, maybe Seth.
I don't think Kevin Owens and Drew. My point was Drew is either that one person who supported Drew is Kevin, or it's The Rock. And The Rock makes a lot of sense to me. The hug links to it.
Well, I was thinking, and again, we'll move on from this shortly, but I was thinking, I think the other day, right, if Rock's not a Mania, who am I having Roman's opponent be? Because I would still want Punk Rollins. It's not going to happen.
I think it'd be Drew.
I think Drew versus Roman is the match. That's the match I'd want to see.
And it'd keep him away from the title and all
Absolutely,
that
jazz. But it's a good story. That's what I want.
agree. Now, if we should have done a prediction with and without Rock, really. And I think, because you had Drew versus Jay, I had Drew versus Sammy, and this was before Drew and Sammy just started.
I predicted the Monday Night Raw. I put Punk and Seth and Jay and Drew.
Rhea and Liv, we thought would go to Mania, but they were meant to, Yeah. They moved
that is
them
a sickening
They
thought.
moved them from Mania to the opening of Raw. So anyway, that happened, and then we had kind of a lot of nothing for a bit. New Day got their promo. They are over like Rover. This heel turn is fantastic. Sorry, Kofi, we've done your power rankings in the future. It's coming out in a couple of weeks' time, and we may have screwed you over on the heel section, but you'll see when you see the video. But yeah, that was good. I like the fact that it's not going fast. I like that. But they were meant to have a match, weren't they? And that got... Yeah, they were meant to have a tag team against Ray and a partner. That got moved.
Oh, really?
And it got... Well, even said it.
Because there was only 4 matches on a 3-hour show,
which
wasn't
is
there?
too little. Like, could you not have done a 6-man tag or something to introduce some new characters?
That's what it is.
Putting the wrestlers in the crowd means nothing.
It made them look like nothing.
And let's talk about that then, because it happens a lot in the evening. I hate look at the celebrities we've got here. It makes you look small time.
It does.
Because you're going, look, even these people, these middling celebrities, you know, the guy who's an SNL host, and this guy who has a special on Netflix.
UFC and boxing don't do that.
No.
But they'll have, like, Conor McGregor, like these Donald Trumps and
because they accept that they're there.
Yeah.
Whereas WWE are like, please say that we're mainstream.
Yeah.
Please. These are all Netflix people. Like, they've all been given a free
right.
ticket. Even the guy, the fluffy bloke, who's actually a very funny comedian, went, thanks for the ticket, Netflix. And you're just like, it made you look small time. And then you made your even wrestlers look even more small time by putting them in the crowd.
That was so bad.
And I'm like, couldn't you have done a battle royal? Couldn't you have done an 8-man tag? I know 8-man tags are a bit like but it's the idea of introducing to new fans. And you could have started some rivalries. You could have had them into setting things going on. Give LA Knight a promo. Logan Paul wasn't even on the show.
Wasn't he? I thought he was scheduled to be there.
Yeah, he was in the audience. He did I'm Logan Paul. And you're like, okay, so even don't get me wrong, I'm delighted. I don't want to watch Logan Paul, but you know, why would you do that? Very confusing, very small time. And let's talk about the fact that Macaulay Culkin's still got a bigger pop than almost the majority of the wrestlers.
That is.
What a pop!
What a pop!
It's Macaulay Culkin. Yes! He just had Seth Green, who got such a zero pop. I love Seth Green. I was like, who's Seth Green? Macaulay Culkin. Yeah! It's just been Christmas. Would you got a bigger pop if it was April?
Yeah, it's debatable.
I don't know, but I love Macaulay Culkin. So then we move on to Liv versus Rhea. Now, is my memory wrong? But wasn't this meant to be last woman standing?
I don't know.
Please put in the comments. I'm not sure. My brain is telling me this was meant to be last woman standing, and then it was just a normal match. And you know what? The match was fine.
Of course it was fine. I would have predicted that Rhea would have won because I knew.
The minute they put the match on there, me and you went, well, that's Rhea winning that one. Now WrestleMania prediction is out the window.
Yeah, because they wanted a title change, which is fair.
And the match was literally, there's not much to talk about the match. It was pretty much a standard match. I don't think Liv's that great in the ring anyway. I think she's improved. But I'm like, And again, both kicking out of finishers. Rhea kicks out of an Oblivion on a chair. So more kick out. So that's now 4 wrestlers and 4 kickouts, all from big moves. We had moonsault into Samoan Spike with a spear, kicked out, and now we've got Oblivion onto a chair, kick out, and and then there's rumours and innuendo that that was when Becky was meant to arrive and appear was during this match, and it got cut for the Undertaker instead, apparently.
No, that's not possible.
I hope not.
Because that's a big return, that's a big plot point.
The thing is, though, normally you have to take what they say beforehand as lies because they're sending out fake feelers to go, look, this is happening, this is happening. Haha, Dave Meltzer, you look like an idiot. But that's, because I predicted Becky would turn up after WrestleMania, but it sounds like she's going to have a big WrestleMania. You predicted her in the triple threat with Riv and Leah.
It's not happening.
And you're like, Riv and Leah. With Liv and Rhea, but that's who... So, yeah, the match was fine. I'm glad Rhea won the title. Liv needed not to be champion. Who Rhea faces next? I'm not sure. Would you want to run back Becky? I don't know.
Because they did do it 2 years ago, didn't they?
Last year.
Was it last year?
It was last year.
Oh my, wow, it's been a
it was last year.
Oh no, so I don't think you should then.
Opened WrestleMania 40.
So I don't think you should.
So that's what I'm saying. So my predictions, but is Becky too small for this, is maybe Lyra Valkyria wins the Intercontinental Championship, which again could have been on Raw.
Yeah.
That could have been, that got bumped because they didn't want to get lost in the shuffle.
No.
There was not much shuffle.
Well, you know what really infuriates me? The World Heavyweight Champion, the champion
did he not
of this brand, got a video. I'm sorry.
Good video.
Yeah, obviously.
Good
but
video.
that really...
He's the head champion of that brand.
I would do a swear word if I could.
It makes me think
that peed me off.
He's going to SmackDown.
But even if he is, at least have him, or at least then have Cody do something more than just hit Kevin Owens and hope for the
This is
Rock.
what I mean by have extra matches to introduce some of your characters. Literally, Gunther is not a known person to new fans, and now someone's going, but I thought Cody was the champion.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what a lot of fans are
You've
going
not
to go,
explained it.
I thought Cody was the champion. It wasn't explained to new fans. I know we're talking about from new fans, but literally...
That's the goal of what you're doing.
We can't explain it from old fans, because quite frankly, I thought Raw was fine.
For what should have been a pay-per-view level Raw.
I didn't care for the Undertaker little scooting his bike around.
I didn't even watch that stuff. I skipped the matches when I was watching it.
Scoot. So if you didn't know that, there was a lot of audio problems.
Was there?
Now, I don't know if this was audio problems for a UK viewer, but it was always when Michael Cole was talking, like when they were doing...
Yes, no, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, when they were doing like arena shots.
Yes.
And then suddenly Michael... Am I there going, are you talking about a sponsor? Are you talking about a thing and it's being, like, cut because you can't...
you can't maintain that, though.
And I was wondering if that was just they were having audio problems, because it was always at the start of a kind of segment, or they had to kind of cut things... Because obviously we didn't watch it live, we watched it the day after. I don't know if it would have been the same watching it live or not, but it was streamed, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So then we've got that, and then the New Day does another promo. I like that they got two.
Yeah,
really happy for them.
Fine.
Really happy for
them.
them.
Fine, they were doing well. They call out Travis Scott and all.
Yeah. So now we are about an hour and 40 minutes into Raw, and there's been 2 matches and 2 promos, and we've got our John Cena promo, which, let's be honest, was the segment of the night.
Agreed. But the problem is, again, you've not really got much of a storyline progression other than he's entering the Rumble.
Which we knew anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But we wrestling fans knew it. But
No. He'd already said he's entering the Rumble.
Has he?
Yeah, so I don't know if they... Maybe they just didn't put... Maybe
they introduce it to the Netflix
I
audience.
love the promo, though, because it was honest.
Yeah.
I haven't won a match in 2,500 days.
Yeah.
Great. I'm not going to win the 17th title. Great. Everyone boos. And I go, well, I'd have to win Money in the Bank. I'd have to win the Elimination Chamber. I'd have to win the Royal... Maybe I can win the Royal... Yeah. That's so simple.
Yeah.
Great. And this is why John Cena is one of the best. That promo was immaculate.
You know me, you're the same. We've seen so much wrestling that even if we see good wrestling, like a good promo, we'll go, well, that's a good promo.
Good, yeah.
But this was a very rare occasion. When I was watching it, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, go on, say you're in the Rumble. Yes, go on, and go on.
I was amazed that no one interrupted, but now I watched the promo and I went, that was the right call.
No, I agree, but my only problem is you've not built any intrigue for the future.
Well, they did, but we can put that to the side. They built no intrigue for any of the wrestlers.
But the promo on its own, I loved it. It was really accurate, and it made me very excited for Cena's run.
Yeah, I thought I was really worried that Logan Paul was going to interrupt him, and it looks like building to a Cena-Miz match on Raw. Be a nice first match for Cena to go with Miz, because Miz has his promo, Karrion Kross interrupts it really awkward. Oh, that Kathy, it's not Kathy Cates, the other one, I always forget her name, doing an interview in the arena. Love it. It felt like I was back with Gene Okerlund in the early 90s. I really liked it with the crowd behind.
I like it.
Keep that, please. But you've got to make sure you're on top of it because it's awkward. Because I don't know if the difference between, oh my God, I'm live getting interviewed or I'm backstage, or I don't know if the backstage ones get pre-recorded and then they, can edit it, do it again. I'm not sure because it's very unclear.
It was a bit like, when's she going to hit in a way that they're cutting? Yeah.
And then the people saying and doing their things are like, oh, I'm going to make sure I'm
getting it right. But it's the first time.
But it's the first time, and I hope it improves. I really do, because they obviously did Rhea one, they did The New Day, and they did Miz with Karrion. The Karrion thing was awkward. No.
Karrion Kross doesn't suit that environment.
No, I don't think he does. I think he suits quiet on the thing. However, just on a side note, I've really enjoyed Karrion Kross in the last few weeks. Wyatt Six not being on the show, thought that was a weird one. You think you're going to introduce, don't get me wrong, Wyatt Six have struggled in the last 6 months. Not gonna lie, we did a video and Ringside Renaissance went, I think they suck. Come at me, Sam's on Wrestling, and I commented back, I was like, I think they don't suck, but it's not going well. They are missing Bray. They're missing Bray. I think Bo's done a great job, and I think Bo can do it on his own.
I think it has a ceiling, it has an expiry date.
Well, that's what I said about supergroups.
Yeah.
Supergroups either have to be dominating the main event scene, or they have to do one of two things. They end up having to job, because you can't keep them winning without getting to the main event, or they have to disappear at times so that they don't get over, they can't, so they don't job.
What they've done,
and that's what they've done. They've done this one, and it's not quite worked. I don't think it's quite worked, and they fed Chad Gable to them. So I think we're going to get Wyatt Six Judgment Day now. I think our Judgment Day predictions are off at WrestleMania as well.
Okay.
Well, because they're doing Finn and Priest next week.
Yeah.
Rather than at WrestleMania, which you predicted and I predicted it with a triple threat. I reckon we're getting Judgment Day versus Wyatt Six at WrestleMania.
Fine.
But whatever. So then that leads us on to the third match. Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. And I'm going to say it again. I think Jey has fumbled a big match again.
I didn't watch it.
You're a wrestling YouTuber, man.
No, I know, but I had stuff to do in the day, so I was just like, I'll just get to the later part. So was it a bad match?
It was short.
Was it?
This is the thing. It was probably, I reckon it was about 10 minutes. I'm not saying time, but it was about 10 minutes.
I don't mind that.
But
having a short.
they both kicked out of the finishers again.
No, I didn't know this.
Claymore kicked out of by Jay. Drew kicked out.
Kicked out of the Claymore.
Kicked out of the Claymore. You know,
Claymore's a really protected.
One of the most protected ones. He kicked out of that.
Oh, Sam.
And then it was one with the. You saw it was one with the crucifix, which I liked, by the way. I liked that Jay won. I liked it was kicked out. He beat him with the crucifix. He suckered him in. It really adds to Drew's heel. It's one of the few things that's actually got progression for later. But yeah, I thought this match was also quite slow. I don't know if it was me, but the black ring, which I actually like, by the way.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind it. I think the sponsorship, I can get used to it. It's fine. It feels like I'm watching a wrestling game from 2000. But I was watching, particularly when I watched the Roman versus Solo, it felt like it kind of rolled up. It's almost like they put a black carpet over the actual mat rather than it being imprinted onto the mat. And it looked like it was moving around a bit, and I don't know if there was people not sure of their footing, maybe. I've not read this anywhere, this is my opinion, but I thought all the matches seemed really stop, start, slow.
Yeah.
It was almost like they didn't know where they were going to put ad breaks.
That was kind of it as well.
Yeah.
We get to watch in the UK.
Yeah.
The part in the ad breaks.
Yeah,
it doesn't go to the ads, so we just watch the rest of it.
Yeah, there's no ad break for us.
Which is actually quite weird to watch on TV because for understandable reasons, they're slowing down, they're not doing any big bumps, and the match loses momentum because it's not on TV.
But if you're watching on TV,
we're
keep
watching
the momentum.
It. For us, we're like, we're kind of back again, but it's lost that
I wonder
edge.
if someone's going to have a word about it and go, guys, your match is a pay-per-view match every Raw now. And not, I mean, pay-per-view ability, I mean, you have 12 minutes, you've got to do 12 minutes. Just make sure in that 2-minute gap, we'll let you know, don't do anything amazing, do some standard wrestling stuff. When I was a kid and they used to go to ad breaks, they did things in the ad breaks because they would show a replay, usually of how the heel took over from the babyface. So, yeah, the match was fine, but it's the kicking out finishes again, so that is now 6 out of 6 at this point, 3 out of 3. And then Hulk.
Oh, we're going this bit. Oh.
I
was a fan of this.
Never been happier for a group of fans. Now, people talk about the politics of this. This has nothing to do with politics.
Likewise.
This is not a nice man. This is a man who's been racist, man who's been offensive. This is a man who openly said on Logan Paul's podcast that people have forgiven Chris Benoit, they will forgive me.
Did he?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
That is a quote. He said, people have forgiven Chris Benoit, they will forgive me.
Have they?
That is how completely out of the loop he is. And they've already said, we might not use him on live telly, but we might actually just turn him heel and use it as a heel thing already.
Why are we having heel Hulk Hogan on Raw at the moment? Why is that a thing? No, I was really happy. And again, you're absolutely right. You can think politically different to me. I do not mind that at all.
They didn't boo The Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. This is the case in point. Because LA is a very Democrat, blue area. It's blue, absolutely. You can disagree with me on politics, absolutely fine. And again, no one was hating The Undertaker because Undertaker is a good man from what we know.
He came out and said a lot of things on the side of the red party.
Yeah, which is fine. That's his opinion. He wasn't malicious to anyone. Hulk Hogan is a racist, factually. And he's not a nice man to other wrestlers. And you know what? I am kind of sick of the idea that he gets so much fanfare, and I get it, but as a man, did he really deserve all of the adulation that he got? Not really, and I think it's nice that for once
he got booed at Mania 37. This is not new.
Did he? Oh no,
when he came out
he turned up.
Turned up with Titus O'Neil. He's there with Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil's
one of the nicest blokes probably in history. And I have nothing to say. He didn't say anything. He just went, "Hey, look, I've got a beer."
I think they cut it for time, didn't they?
I know he sped through his promo to leave. He sped through his promo, and I hope they never use him again. If they do the heel thing, it's stupid. But quite frankly, I was delighted that he got booed. Absolutely delighted.
No,
and I don't want to come on my screen ever again. I can't stand the man. Is there anything you would like to mention about our Raw on Netflix of the show itself before we get to the main event?
I don't think so. I think it was clunky. There wasn't enough matches, but I think we've gone through all of that. So
they showed the WTK 25 with Roman Reigns going into the thing with Paul Heyman advert. I enjoyed that because it looked like a real thing. I thought that was good. I liked that. One
of my best friend's birthday is January the 27th, you know.
And that's what
so I sent that video to him.
I've heard they've got big things for this game. They've got some new initiative stuff.
I'm surprised it's coming out in January. That's not usually a thing, is it?
Well, they usually do it beforehand, don't they? In like the October, November, December sort of region.
Maybe they're timing it with Netflix. I don't know.
I assume
that's what they're
doing. It's like a couple of days before the Royal Rumble, a couple of days around Saturday Night's main event, the second one for some reason. I think the overall presentation up to this point I actually thought was really good. I thought it looked glossy. I thought it looked big. It felt big time. I like the new announcers table. No one's going to be able to go through it.
That's what I noticed. Well, they tried to, didn't they?
And I was there going, I kept looking at it going, guys, are you trying out this table or whatever? Because you ain't going through.
Because I saw that, I was like, yeah.
Because even if you go through the middle bit, the other bit, you ain't gonna break, is it? So,
do you know what? Do
you know what? I'm gonna say this now. This might feel a bit controversial. I think I'm happy for the announce table break to be gone forever.
You putting it in the lockbox, Sam?
Not lockbox. I think it's kind of. But I think I'm happy for it to just be left and ignored, because quite frankly people don't get disqualified. You go through a table. Well, if I brought a table out, it's just cute. But apparently if I go through that table, it's fine.
For some using the natural environment, I don't know. Well, I can understand that.
Well,
but
you
again,
can't say that because taking the turnbuckle off can lead to a disqualification.
True.
And then
you can throw people into the steps. So
yes, but you can't hit someone with the steps unless you decide you can.
Yeah.
You know you can't pick someone up and slam them into the ring post like
yes,
that.
I've heard
That's madness. Anyway, so we'll go to the main event.
Tangents.
First of all, I hated that this was on Raw and not on a pay-per-view. I don't know if they're still going to do it for Mania or not.
It's just clean.
Punk Roman is also an option.
I think that's what they'll do.
Do you reckon Punk wins the title against Gunther at Royal Rumble? Because I reckon that's where we're heading.
No, I want Punk to be in the Rumble. I want him to have a face-off for Cena at the Rumble.
No, do you?
I love that.
Could be the match at Mania. Cena Punk Mania.
Yeah, but I feel like you should do something else for Mania. I just feel like.
Well, who have you got for Cena's match at Mania?
Oh, they're talking about Cody, aren't they?
No, I mean, who would you want? So you predicted Gunther. We both predicted Gunther. Are you still going with Gunther?
I think it's a really nice dynamic, Cena and Gunther, and Gunther's the intimidating champion.
Weirdly, I have no problem with it being Punk or Cody.
Cody's alright.
I'm okay with Cody because then he might get Rock Roman, and that's the match you predicted. But because I had Cody versus. No, I had them in the triple threat with Rock and Roman. But if they do Rock and Roman solidly, then Cody John Cena is probably the match that I would probably go with.
I just wanted Cody Orton.
Yeah.
But
no, that's not happening. That's a SummerSlam.
Probably. That's
SummerSlam, I think. So the main event, it's the match of the night by a considerable margin. Cody versus Seth. But again, that was slow.
It was slow. And I think that some of that is down to Punk just being 46. I think we just have to
recognise. Somebody, one of our very, very big watchers, said that comment. I put it on Twitter. I went, what's your views of the Raw? We got a few from Joshy once sent one in. He pretty much said what we've all said about the dynamics and the matches and how it looked. And audio issues, he mentioned that as well. And another one of fans kind of went that Punk has been carried through every match he's been in since he's come back. I disagreed because I don't think you can have a match of the year.
Hell in a Cell you didn't
with being carried.
He was brilliant.
But I understand that what I rebutted was I think a lot of people have modified their in-ring style for Punk, which can lead to nicer matches because you can get story and psychology, granted. But I do think that's what happens, and I do think Seth, has already. Now apparently there is still real animosity between these two. And they're doing it professionally, but they really do not get on. And I think Seth definitely got injured in this match again.
Do you think it? Because when I was watching it, I thought Punk was injured at the end. But I've seen footage after it of Punk telling the ref to go and check on Seth.
Seth's knee's in trouble.
Is it?
Do you think? Seth might tweak his knee.
Shame if he has.
Seth might tweak his knee. Let's hope it's only a tweak. Let's hope it's like a hit. Like, you know, when you get that, when you go, oh, that's like hurt. Type of thing. So let's just hope it's that. But I'm a bit worried for Seth, obviously, coming into Mania, because obviously it's around the sort of time he always seems to get bloody injured. Got injured last year for the exact same reason. Yeah. Got injured before Triple H, the match when Samoa Joe took him out. That was just before WrestleMania as well.
He loves that.
I liked the match though. I thought the match was good.
It's just good though.
It was good. I think all the matches were good. None of them were bad. No. I think they were all good. And again, I think you needed a really special match on that first night. And I would put this, if you were rating this is like a 3.5 star out of 5 match to me. It's above average. But I'm there going, this feels like the first match in a series of 3.
But my problem is...
Could it be for the title?
I wouldn't mind it being for the title. But
so Punk wins against Gunther.
It could be, but...
Seth wins the Chamber. Go for that in Mania.
I'm not thrilled about it. Right, okay, here's my thing. If you're going to make this a feud, I think the first match of it should have been Mania, because that's where the anticipation is. I found myself thinking...
Long way to take it. No, 4 months.
Yeah, you can take it that far.
Triple H famed for it.
Exactly.
Still convinced he's taken Rhea and Liv there.
Exactly. I came out of it thinking we have wanted to see Punk versus Seth for ages. Like since 2019 when he came to backstage
Yeah.
and all that.
And in general, since Survivor Series 23.
Yeah.
Because that was the match it was meant to be. It was meant to be at Mania
Yeah.
last year before Punk got injured himself.
Yeah. So we've wanted this for ages. And I just thought to myself, we've ended up seeing it probably once, I think, on an episode of Raw, and it was a bit average. It went about 15 odd minutes.
And they had a 3-on-1 handicap match at a TLC or a Survivor Series.
But
yeah.
I just felt a bit...
Keep Roman strong.
The rugs... I just felt a bit like the rug's been pulled out underneath us a little bit, because I think this should have been a Mania storyline, and you should have had a 3-month build.
Which it still could be.
It could be, but Sam, but the anticipation if they go to Mania is lessened because you've already had Punk beat Seth fair and square.
I will counter that for you.
Go on.
I think this is leading to a Seth heel turn.
Which is okay.
So,
but I think...
so this match, him losing, is what will aid that if that's the story they decide to tell. Remember, what's the sentence you have to say with Triple H? You have to see how it goes.
No, I know.
Because with Triple H, that could literally, you have to wait and see with Triple H because he keeps things going, and sometimes you go, well, I waited and see and nothing happened. I.e. Chad Gable and Otis, for example. Yes. And you're like, or they keep things going too long. Like, the Judgment Day still together? Okay. But I think this might have a wait and see to it. But my worry is that they put 2 WrestleMania matches on the opening night.
I think, so you can make that point, but I'm reviewing this episode of Raw.
Yeah.
And I just think, for a main event, it was okay. You've got to do one or two things, I think, in the main event. You've got to have an absolute banger match, so you introduce to Netflix fans what a really good...
Moment.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to do. You either have a really banging wrestling match and introduce to Netflix fans what a really good wrestling match is, and they go, oh, wasn't that insane? Probably preferably something a bit hardcore, actually. Probably.
I think so.
But you do either that, or literally what you just said, you have a big shocking twist that creates intrigue that makes you go, oh, what's going to happen with this person?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Curtain call. End. See you later. It's really quick.
It felt a bit clumsy, and there was no intrigue created with it. And I just think for Punk and Seth to have one match, if they do, is a waste.
Yeah.
And it should have been saved for Mania, and I don't think it's going to be the Mania match.
Let's wait and see on that. But I think in conclusion, I think we will honestly say that we were both... I think the problem with us watching this, I think we have one big issue. Me and you went in with too high an expectation.
But I think they'd built our expectations.
No, agreed. But we've had this happen a lot in wrestling history. And I think we were expecting, I think a lot of fans, not the new fans or not casual fans, fans were really expecting something monumental. And a lot of people go, no, it was good. And I think there's an element of, when someone goes, it was good, that's them going...
You have to say it was good.
You have to go, it was good. But for me, I thought it was good. But... unspectacular. It felt like a giant advert. I'm looking forward to next week because that should be a normal episode of Raw. Penta debut. It's going to be a Penta debut.
Okay.
I love Penta.
I know. I'm not that fussed, but cool.
But again, who's Penta getting fed? Chad Gable.
Yeah.
But they've really stacked next week from a kind of other wrestlers' standpoint. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, you got Priest and Finn having the triple threat. You've got Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser having another match, and they always put on a banger.
You almost just want them to forget that they're on Netflix. You just want them to
just do it.
Just WWE get less self-conscious about it and just do what you do.
I'm hoping that they're gone. That's our first episode. Do you know what I'm most looking forward to as a UK viewer is SmackDown. For us, is going to be on Netflix, but for them, it's not. It's still on the USA network. So I'm intrigued to see what SmackDown looks like on Netflix for a UK viewer. But so I was excited for it. And I'm going to say I was underwhelmed.
What I would summarise it as is missed opportunity.
I think so. Let's be clear. I'm excited still for WWE on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
I think, by the way, everyone was going... Dave Meltzer said a lie again, they're not going to have much on it. Like, they've got every pay-per-view. Every WWE pay-per-view's on there. And if you're going, well, this pay-per-view isn't, you're proper going into archival stuff to go, this pay-per-view that was this. Like
WCW sold out in 97.
I haven't checked if the In Your Houses are there or whatever, but literally every main pay-per-view series is on there. And they're going, all the Raws are on there. Why do you want every Raw on there? Why are you still watching the Raw from 2007 in March? They put main Raws on there, some special Raws on there. There's a big gap of about 20 years, and everyone's going, because they're going to introduce it slowly for 2 reasons. One, you can't just throw everything on there, and 2, they're trying to entice new people to Netflix, and this is a way of doing
just
that.
Just get over it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's fine. There's actually so much on there, and I've really enjoyed this, because I didn't have the network. You did briefly. Yeah. I didn't have the network, and now I've got it to my hand, and I've already have people said to me going, what should I watch first? I'm kind of intrigued by this wrestling thing. People have asked me, and I've gone, have you ever seen wrestling before? And they've gone, gone, no.
Have you heard of the people that are watching it as if it's a
WrestleMania
series?
1?
Yeah. It was good. And then they're watching the second episode and it's like, this story doesn't make sense. What's going on
They're
here?
watching it because Netflix is
like
on
a series.
as episodic.
I love it. You watch WWE.
It does say the year on it, lads. I get it though. They should have actually.
I love that.
They should have broken it into years.
Yeah.
Is what they should have done.
Season 1 of
They
WrestleMania.
should have gone. This is 1997. This is 98. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us. What was your actual view of the Raw on Netflix debut? We have been Sam's on Wrestling. Again, this is our 100th subscriber episode. If 5 or 6 people have unsubscribed to get us below 100 before this episode, I'm going to be furious. We look like right tits.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for the people who have come to watch us, come to enjoy our things. Please go and tell other people we're trying to build something. And again, I would like to thank some lovely channels. There's been lots on TikTok. There's too many to mention on TikTok. We've got a little community going on of chatting and, talking about stuff. But the two that I really want to say is Joshy Wrestling has been really, really lovely community they've got there. He's a really good TikToker. Moved on to YouTube. Go and watch his stuff. I'll try and put his link in. And Ringside Renaissance, they're fantastic. 2 really funny blokes. They've been going about 9 months. They're up to about 9,000 subscribers, give or take.
Wow.
Really, yeah, they're really lovely blokes. I would love to be able to do a video with them one day. We will. We get on quite well with them. They do a great podcast pretty much every single week. Go and check into their thing. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.